Hey, this is John Carlos, and I'm here with a look at the San Diego Comic-Con 2019 exclusive NECA action figure of John Connor with motorbike. Here's a look at the inside of the packaging with a little photo in there. Let me just say up front that I am really super duper happy that NECA made this figure. When I was a kid, I really liked the T2 series of action figures. I had a bunch of them, and my favorite was actually the John Connor with motorcycle set. So I think it's really cool that NECA has done this because it fits in line with their kind of retro T2 figure series, but also fits in line with the actual movie series of T2 figures. They did a really good job, I think, with the sculpt on this head, and the paint job on it is pretty solid. Like, they did a good job capturing the look of John Connor, and I don't mean his style, I mean like his expression. The little mouth agape, the eyebrows, that definitely is a sort of expression that John Connor makes in the film. Eyebrow paint is good, the lips and teeth paint are good, but they did a good job sculpting his hair, the way it hangs over his eye, the paint of the hair, the paint on the head in general is pretty darn good. And then his outfit, like the texture of his jacket, like the way it folds and hangs, is pretty darn good. Even the strap on his backpack, here's a closer look at the backpack there and the sort of weight of the stuff at the bottom. Wrinkling of the pants, wow, there's even texture on the back of his socks there, that's cool. But yeah, the sculpt and paint on his shoes, the highlight, sort of greenish, yellowish kind of wash that goes over the jeans really adds to the jean effect. Pretty standard NECA articulation I'm used to as far as like the ball joint for the feet, the hinge swiveling knee joint with the little front that kind of covers it up. There's a hinge and a swiveling wrist. I don't really like talking about articulation too much, but you know, ball joint at the top of the head, the ball joint at the shoulder. There is a double elbow joint, which is fun. It gets good range of motion there. I don't like that this plug is so noticeable there, but oh well. Also, we have a hinge at the mid-chest and then a swivel at the waist. So yeah. Now, it also comes with his bike, and I think this looks really, really cool. One of the things that they included is a little stand, so, because, you know, obviously it probably wouldn't stand well on its own, and it doesn't really have a kickstand, so there you go. That is a nice inclusion. Much appreciated, I gotta say. The sculpt on pretty much all of it, like the texture of like the tires, they even have like a rubbery feel to them compared to the plastic rest of the figure, but the little, like, you know, motor guts on the side, even just like little springs, and you know, just like the little tiny pedal there. And there's more gack on the other side. I don't know what all these things are called. I'm just going to call it all gack. But the sculpt on it's great. The silver grayish paint on it's great. The black wash that highlights all the little nooks and crannies of it. Just like the actual tire itself. The red and white elements towards the top are all well done. There's some scuffing on it, so that's cool. They definitely dirtied it up. Even the red surface has like a dark kind of wash to it, which gives it a nice dirty look. The little cables come down here from the brakes and all that. Those little cables look good. I mean, this is all really, really solid stuff. Besides the bike, the figure comes with a few other accessories, including this, you know, ATM theft device with all the appropriate cables. Some very nice detail on this, considering how little it is. You can actually see the little ATM card there and a little keypad. The screen does not articulate, although it looks like it could. Still really, really good sculpt. And we also get the T800 arm in the case. The case doesn't open, but it is a very fun accessory for them to include. I like the details within it, so that's fun. But this does kind of follow a trend that I'm not a big fan of, and that is including accessories with a figure that would require the figure to be able to grip it, like the character would use it. The character should grip it. Like this should be using like a flat kind of pinching hand, but it doesn't come with any alternate hands, so it just sort of is. It's just sort of there. Like if you want to have like John Connor actually like gripping this and carrying this like he would, there are no hands for it. So as it stands, it's just another accessory that's sort of there, but like if it can't use it as a toy, then I don't know why it's included. I don't get it. Why don't they include another just set of... For 50 bucks, you'd think there'd be another set of hands to actually use the accessories with. But now they're just sort of excess things. One thing that is included that you can't actually use is the alternate head. There's an alternate head of John Connor as he appears in T2 3D Battle Across Time, which is a very, very fun attraction that I enjoyed at Universal Studios Orlando and also enjoyed in Hollywood. They closed it in Hollywood to put in a Minions ride. So, but man, this is a really, really fun inclusion, especially because not only does it, you know, kind of satisfy any Terminator completists, but also they made like NECA made a T2 3D Arnold figure, so if you already have that, it's super cool, and they included this for continuity, so props to NECA for that. It's very similar to his regular head. Different expression on the face, though. No open mouth, less intense eyes, and you got the headband. Same hairstyle, but I always thought it was fun that he had a headband on the ride. I think it's cool they included the headbanded head for this figure. So random to include it, but props to NECA for including it. Well, that looks pretty damn cool. Some things worth noting: the pelvis of the figure is made of like a softer kind of rubbery material, which I think is important because if you're going to be pivoting the legs upward, it allows the legs to bend that rubber and get into the right position. If it was made of like a more solid plastic, it'd either be limited or you have to cut the leg joint higher and then you'd see a big gap. So props to them for including like a little kind of rubbery edge there. You can see that. Also, the stomach crunch is actually pretty necessary. If you want his butt to kind of rest where it should on the bike, you're going to need his torso to lean forward to reach the handles. Otherwise, he'd be like kind of floating, scooting forward. So I think that crunch in the chest was really, really important. Getting the hands on the handles was great. Putting him on there was pretty easy, and his placement on the bike where like his legs would meet the little pedals was pretty, like, there's no troubles with putting him on here, which is great, and it looks great on there. As a T2 fan, I'm pretty satisfied by how this turned out. It's $50, and I do have to wonder, you know, like if you're gonna say $25 for the figure and accessories and $25 for the motorcycle, yeah, it's there. It's a con exclusive. It is what it is. But I really, really dig it. When they first started making like the retro throwback T2 toys, I was like, cool. I wonder if they'll do a John Connor one someday. So like the fact that they actually did make one, man, consider my nostalgia bone officially tickled. I dig it. Thanks for watching, everybody. And if you want, you can follow me on social medias. I'll put up some links right now.